Okay, good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo First here at Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi. I'm temporarily substituting for Rabbi Reuven Levitt, who's taking care of important business for the Yeshiva right now. There's just some Tzlacha. And hopefully join us again later this morning. We're in the Nefesh HaChaim, the first Shah, and Perek Yud, the 10th Perek. Yeah, go ahead, Blake. I'd like to read first.
Its title is Man Greater Than Angel and Vice Versa. The Al-Pi Zeh Shah Tehor Ba'inyan Shinud Da'as Shavei Galei Barashanim
Zichron of the Bracha.
Yes, of the Bracha.
Of blessed memory.
Zichron of the Bracha. Im Hadam Me'Israel Gadol Mahamal
Is a Jewish person greater than an angel?
So on this basis, the difference in opinion between the greatest of the Yerushalyim of blessed memory will be explained as to whether a Jew is greater than an angel is greater than him.
Before we go further, on your own, what would you venture to guess?
Well, it depends on the circumstances and what you're saying is greater.
Okay, go ahead.
So, in some respects, we're greater than they are because I've done a few just a little bit into here anyway. But with regards to mobility between them, affecting the world, we're greater than they are. But angels, I will also discuss that the word angel is not a good expression, really a messenger rather than an angel from the point of view of wings and halos and stuff like that, you know, and organ music in the background.
The medieval images that we have in the psyche of
Disney and Hollywood. But so angels don't have free will. What they're told to do, that's what they must do. They've probably got some sort of leeway, depending on circumstances within that. They must do their job. We've got free will to be good or to be bad, or a little bit of this or a little bit of that if we want to. It's up to us. Angels are closer to Hashem perhaps than we are. I don't know. Anyway, so...
Okay. The pros and cons to each way of looking at it. We'll see. Let's take a look. Let's see how the time religion wins it. Good.
Mishneh Hadaros, that may be, Rios, Mafrashos, Mimik Ra'os, Mikarashim. These are the two opinions, bringing supporting proof from explicit scriptural texts.
So we're going to bring each one to his own opinion, his own proofs, based on the verses that we see they'll present. So,
Alpi, Devanu,
on this Gileel, as mentioned before,
what's that? Say it again.
Hey Nun Lamed.
Yeah.
Do they explode the words for you, or they just keep the letters?
They just say our words above.
Exactly what it means.
Yisparach. Yisparach. Asher. Be'emes. Elu. Elu. Devarei Elohim. HaChaim. Rak. Mechinos. Chaluk Elohim. So on the basis of the words above, we would explain that in truth, both these and these are the words of the living God, but in different contexts.
Why does he have to say that? Because they're each bringing verses to prove the same, different points. So how can you understand that? That the verses, the words of HaKodesh Baruch Hu himself, so to speak, seem to be contradictory.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he has to explain that statement.
Ki V'dai Malach Gadol Ma'adam. For an angel is certainly incomparably greater than a Jew in terms of Ein Be'etzem Yusor, his essence. Ein Gadol Kadoshos, the greatness of his holiness. The Niflaos Sagosol, the awesomeness of his perception. Ein Eirich, the Dimyon, the Nahem Kolot. There's no vague comparison between them at all.
Anything that compares to them, or there's no? I'm not sure what he means by this exactly. This is Ein Erech Udimyon B'neihem Klal.
Yeah, I think it means that these are given, and that's this, and that's that, and you can't compare any of these with man's equivalent. Man hasn't got an equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
So our perception, whatever, I don't explain what it means by his perception.
Their viewpoint, from their perspective, right? We can't approach their perspective.
Yeah.
Because why? Because their residence is in the spiritual world, right? They have a completely different experience based on their stature in the hierarchy of things. As you said, they're closer, so to speak, to HaKodesh Baruch Hu, right? So since they're higher and they're really not of this world, right? So they get to see things much greater, with much more clarity than we do. In this aspect, we can't compare to that.
Alright, but so well, man can't do that, so that's they're holier than we are. They've got more kedusha than we have, than we can ever hope to have. Speaking in general, there may be a couple of exist, maybe do exist, who have existed, maybe who will exist, that will have a holiness greater than an angel, but that would be an individual thing, it won't be a general quality of mankind.
Right.
And his essence, what's his essence? His essence is well, an angel is probably made up of purer pure entities that make up a person is made up of pure ingredients.
Being non-physical, that's the basic difference. They're non-physical, so they don't have any of the physical needs and physical distractions.
They come physical, to it the angels that came to Abraham.
Mm-hmm. True.
And the angels that appeared before.
There's a big discussion about those angels, whether they actually ate or not, or when we gave them food to eat.
Well, yes, but all right. Okay, so in those terms, anyway, essence, holiness, perception, they are certainly greater than we are, and there's no argument about that by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the Zohar comes into it, Uchamor Shekasuv, as per the Zohar. The Zohar, HaKodesh, Bereshis, B'mid Rosh, Hage'alam, before Shah, Yikro, Him, Yom, Sarges, Malachim, Ehi, Hasagor, Godola, Mash, Ein, Kain, Lamata, Mahem, Hasageh, Shania, what's it called? Etc.
That means etc., right?
Yeah. Asaga, Shiloshis, Him, Asages, Amadrega, Hatachatana, Share, Ba'afar, Yisada, Bahi, Asogay, Benay, Adam. So I've got here Reb Kerus Kadai learned. Where is that here? It's not here, is it? No. It's in brackets.
No, it's not here. Maybe that's the quote of the Zohar.
Have you ever heard of him?
Not so often.
Kerus Kadai learned. The perception of angels is very great in contrast to that which is below them. The second level of perception is, the third level of perception is, at the lowest level, dominated by the element of earth, which is a perception of man.
Right. Yeah, obviously, different from your vantage point, you're going to get to see different things. So the highest level, or a high level, is obviously that of the Malachim.
Risham, what was Chof-Tes? Risham, Chof-Tes base.
Kuf Chav Tes. Amen.
Chof-Tes is Risham in Hamalachim, Hagoralim, Mekabalim, Koach, Shefa,
Asploria, that's Asploria.
Pakaleya, Shel Ma'alam, Techila, Umahem, Yored, L'Shamayim, B'chol, Sivarom, Umahem, Al, Ha'adam, Ein Shom. So Reb Eliezer said in the name of Reb Tanchum, the angels which are close to God are the first to receive their ability to perceive clarity of the above, and capital A for above. It is from them that this perception descends to the heavens and all the hosts, and from them to man. Their perception goes to a lower level.
From them down?
From above, and the lower level is the heavens, and all the hosts. Refer there. And then the Zohar, Terama, Chof Tes Beis, Malachai, Eli, Inon, Kadoshim, Yatir, Mogen. Refer there. The angels of the supernal realms are holier than us. And these references are given here in Zohar Chadash 1 Bereshit and Zohar 2 Teruma.
Okay.
And Zohar Chadash also Bereshit, Chadash 1 Bereshit. So those are the references that the pages were referred to up there. Okay.
So what do we see from this so far?
You see that the angels are greater than us in these respects that we've mentioned, but it depends on them being closer to HaShem, for them to receive these abilities, I suppose you call them. And the angels are, we'll call them angels, I suppose, out of convenience, but the messengers of Hashem are messengers. I suppose as messengers, it says, and it is from them, from the angels, that this perception descends to the heavens and all the hosts. So they are conduits of the clarity that Hashem has given them, the conduits to give channel these perception abilities to the heavens and to all the hosts, all the occupants of the heavens. And then from there it goes down to man. So it seems that since it's not as great, we aren't as great as they are in it, that as it descends, this ability of perceiving that which is around us and what's in us, and that it gets weaker and weaker as it goes down till it gets to us. So we only get a little bit of it. I would imagine if we had a lot of it, we'd explode almost literally. We would die. It was bad enough for the for us at our synod to hear Hashem's voice, and that's a minuscule of these abilities.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the Medrash brings down, if you remember the by Hiskiyahu Melech, that the army of Sennacherib came to surround Yerushalyim, on the night of Passover. So the next morning, the Jews woke up, and the whole camp of the army was intact, completely intact, but everyone was gone. They were gone. So Hashem had them all killed, right? The non-Jews. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Chazal explained, the Medrash, Hashem allowed them to hear the songs of the angels singing praises to Him, and that was enough to explode them, just to overload, just too much of a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. However.
That's what they've got here too.
Look at that. I've learned a few things over the years. That's good.
I've mir gesagt. Amnon, B'davar Echad, Yisron, Gadol La'adam, Malachim. In one respect, man has a distinct, significant advantage over the angels. V'hu ha'alos v'his kasharus ha'amos v'ha'kachos v'ha'aros v'chad v'chavo asher ze ein v'koach v'kalol v'shum malach. However, in one respect, man has a distinct, significant advantage over an angel in that he can elevate and interconnect the worlds, the powers and the lights with each other, and that no angel is capable of doing this at all. Well, an angel is, because we've got the ability to be good or bad.
Right.
So if we're good, this is what happens. Everything comes together, and positive influences, and the other way around too, unfortunately. But angels are not going to be good or bad. Angels are going to be, full stop.
Right.
So, because of that, their lack of free will.
So, because of their lack of free will, they are on a less of a level than us.
Just kick it or something.
Takes money, doesn't produce.
Give it a bang.
That's what I should do. With a sledgehammer. Oh, okay, very good. So I don't have to put more money in the.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm fine.
Yeah, I know you're fine. Yeah,
But,
maybe, but it's not worth. I don't know. Money. Okay, so we have make a good transition now. Very good. Rabbi Lev will take over and help you realize the difference between the malach and the man. Okay. All right. Try the other way. Read the flag.
was thinking just now as I'm writing this out that
Yes.
channeling this perception business to man,
Yes.
then it goes into the individual Chacham, who are Moshe Rabbeinu, Rambam, all the people. That's where they end up.
When you come down to, you can start with prophecy and it goes down to Ruach HaKodesh. I think that's probably what, I don't know if he's leading to that, but...
and then I say that's what is on that stage.
Okay, boy. Very good. Boy came to learn today. I'm just going to be with the rabbis first for 1 second, and I'm going to come
Have a good day, Roy.
Thank you very much. You
How you doing, Roy?
Baruch Hashem, not too bad, thank you, and yourself?
Baruch Hashem, Holy Hashem Kitab. Okay. So we got another 15 minutes here. This shear.
We just did the chapter, the paragraph. Amnon Gadol Echad.
Amnon Devar Echad, Yisron Gadol L'Adam Me'amalachim. Right. Even though we said before that the Malachim are bigger in their comprehension and their general level of spirituality, greatness. But there's one thing that man has over the Malachim. Yisron Godol L'Adam Me'a Malachim. Who, and that is Ha'alas V'Hiskatshus Ha'olamos V'Hakochos Ha'oros Echad B'Chavero Asher Zeh Ein B'Koach Klal L'Shum Malach. The man has he has the ability to connect himself to and elevate all of the worlds and the forces and powers and the lights one to another that Hashem made in the universe, which a malach has absolutely no power over to influence or to elevate whatsoever. And now he comes to explain in the next paragraph, V'hu, and the reason for this is and this is for the reason that we have already stated. Ki malach hu be'etzem koach echad prati levad. A malach is just a singular private, specific, singular force and power. She'ein bo klilus kol ha'olamos yachad. He does not encompass within himself all of the worlds. V'kein katuv HaChaim shar pnimius v'chitzonius reish dorish v'yord. So it's written in the Sefer HaChaim that Shamalach Eino Rak Bechina Pratit. It's only a singular, specific dimension. Shel Oso HaOlam She'omid Bo, corresponding to that world that he operates in and stands in. Aval Nishmas HaAdam, but the neshama of the Adam, don't even know actually whether a malach has a neshama. But a person has a neshama, and the neshama of the person, b'kol gimel hachelkei naran shalah, in all the three parts that it consists of. Naran is a notricon, stands the first letter nun stands for neshama. The second letter Reish stands for Ruach, or actually the first one is Nefesh. Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama. So he has these three aspects to him. Hiklula mikol olamos. Within it is contained something from all of the olamos, from his Neshama, Ein Sham. If you want to know more about this concept, you have to look in this Sefer Kabbalah of HaChaim, Shar Pnimis, V'chitzonius. That's the inner essence and the exterior aspect of the other.
Are we clear what these three qualities are that we have in us? Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama. We often mix them all up, don't we?
Yeah, he's not going into them right now exactly how to define Nefesh and Ruach and Neshama. Maybe in another place he's going to go into that. I don't recall that he's done that yet. He hasn't really mentioned that so much. Maybe he'll mention it further on. Let's see, there's an... Yeah, that's...
Morning.
Just offhand, from what I are three. There's three aspects to the person. There's three main evarim to the person. Three main limbs, if you call it. Spiritual limbs, physical limbs. The person has. He's got the moach, the head, the brain, the lave, the heart, and the kishkes is the kaved, the liver. And these correspond to three kochas, a nefesh, three kochas of the nefesh, we call it. The intellect, the moach is that's where the Yetzer Tov resides. That's what knows the emes, what tells the person that this is the emes, this is not the emes. Then there's the lave. The lave is his shifot, is what he wants, what he desires. He doesn't always necessarily want what the emes is. He has to refine the lave. So with the koach of the moach, like that, the koach of the moach takes the koach of the moach to prevail over the shifot, the aspirations of the heart, so that the aspirations of the heart fall in line with what is emes and what is tov and what's Ratzon Hashem. And like we learned in Sefer Yoina, that in this world, which is an olam hasheker, and things are upside down, and you have the Yetzer Hara, the person could get so confused and lost that even the moach gets distorted and wants what's not, and goes along with what's not right and what's not what's in Hashem. The kaved. So where's that leave the kaved? The kaved is the strength and the ability to expedite the command of the moach, and to put aside the aspirations of the heart that are not in line with the moach. So these three evarim in the guf, they're not simply just physical limbs. They are spiritual limbs. They're spiritual aspects of the person, and they correspond to, this naran corresponds to these spiritual limbs, these three spiritual limbs. Okay. These are very, very complex and deep, involved matters. A person is, I have no idea how complex and involved and deep the composition of a person is. I have no idea. Science is just looking at the physical aspect of the person, and it's not able to explain everything, even physically, because it doesn't know, because it's so complex. But when you get involved in the Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama, and the spiritual aspect of the person, then it's off the charts. It's really only Hashem really can know what's the because he made the person. He knows what he made in the person, how he composed the person and created him. But that's a part of Kabbalah. It's understanding not only like he's saying over here, the universe, but also the essence of the person. So we'll see. Maybe he'll go into this. I believe he's going to go into this. We're going to see. He just mentioned it right now. I'm passing to it to explain in what aspect the person is greater than the Malach. The Malach in his composition, therefore, is simple. The composition and the complexity of the other is no comparison, and therefore that's what gives him the ability to have influence and give power and life to all the worlds and the powers and the light that there are, which the Malach has no connection to. L'chein ein b'koach v'yicholos hamalach klal lahalos u'lekasher u'leyached kol ha'olam v'olam anotui al rushehem kim she'eino kalul mishutaf mihem. So since the composition of the Malach is a very singular and limited one, it's not vast and complex and all-encompassing, taken from all of the olamas and forces that there are. So he has no ability whatsoever to elevate, to connect and elevate and unify the world. Here he says Kol Ha'olam. Ha'olam Hanatui Al Rishehem. And the world that is stretched out and hanging over their head. That is the only. That ability is only man. Because he does not encompass and he's not a partner composed of all of these different forces and worlds like the others. Gam Elias atz musoy shel hamalach ad madregosoy yiskasher ba'olam sha'olam ein toli boy ba'atzmo. And also the elevation, his own personal elevation of the Malach himself, ad madregosoy, until his level, where he is. He's kasher ba'olam sha'olav, to connect to the world that he himself is upon him. Ein toli bo ba'atzmo. It's not dependent upon him himself. It doesn't depend on what he does. L'chein nikroim hamalachim omdim. Therefore we call the malachim omdim. Kamoshe Kasuf, like it says in the pasuk in Yeshaya, Srafim omdim. The Srafim is a certain type of a malach, and the Navi describes them as being omeid, that they're standing. Standing means is that they are stationary. They don't, based upon what they do, they don't elevate themselves. Any elevation that they would attain is not through their own actions, through their own choice of doing this or that. Sati lacha mahalchim bein haomdim ha'ela. Another pasuk. Hashem is speaking to the Navi, and he said, "And I've given you mahalchim. I've given you avenues and ways and channels to operate bein haomdim ha'ela, from amongst these malachim who don't have that ability to elevate themselves with their own actions. They're just omed. They're just standing stationary. רק האדם לבד הוא המעלה ומקשר ומייחד את העולמות והאורות בכוח מעשיו. Only man alone has the ability to connect to and elevate and unify all of the worlds and lights and forces and powers that there are through his actions. And when he says masa, he means dibor, masa, and makshava. That's the generic word is masa, but it includes his acts, his thoughts, even and his speech. Makbas shahu kalul mikulam. Because he is contained within him is all of these olamos and oros and kochos. V'oz gam hamalach masig aliyah b'tosefes kedusha al kedusha soy. That's the only way that a malach can achieve any elevation and additional kedusha onto the existing kedusha that he has. Asher bo b'koyach masa adam, that only comes through the acts of man. Shegam hu kalul b'ha'adam, because that also is encompassed in the man. So whatever is encompassed in the man, he has the ability to elevate and unify and elevate and connect to.
So angels and man have a partnership, almost symbiotic. We're actually meant to go together.
Well, just like the whole rest of the universe is like this. Man has the ability to elevate the whole universe, including Malachim, and not the other way around. Malachim have no intrinsic ability through their actions to elevate anything. Even themselves they cannot elevate, is what he's saying over here. Even by their own actions themselves, they cannot elevate their level of kedusha. The only elevation of kedusha that they can receive is as a result of the acts of man. So it's a really, I don't know exactly what that word means, symbiotic, but it's really over here. It's a one-way street. The man is the one who's doing all the moving. He's doing all the moving, and any movement that the Malach has upwards is only because of the man, not because of the Malach himself. It's a one-way street. Okay. You see the next sentence, next paragraph, he talks about Gama Gimel Bechinos Naran. He mentions this again. I don't know if he's going to explain what they are. It doesn't look like it is, but he mentioned it. The point in this sefer is not to teach a person Kabbalah, not to teach him the composition of the universe and the composition of man. The purpose of this sefer is really to impress upon man the greatness of his and the importance of his actions. How they only through his actions is the universe have its life and innovation. Okay, so we almost got up to the end of Perek Yud. We got a couple more